Hello, this is Bill Steffen, and boy, I tell you, there is a little bit of everything on the weather map. We're talking tonight blizzards. We're talking about the possibility of severe storms, perhaps even into our area here come tomorrow evening. So again, let's get straight to it. We've got warm weather on tap here for the day today, and the snow is going to be melting off to the north a little bit once again. I want to start out and show you some season snowfall totals across the area here. Almost 100 inches so far this winter at Scottville in Mason County. That's east of Ludington. Hart's had 86 inches. Holland is 2 inches ahead of Muskegon, 77.8. 5 miles northwest of Battle Creek, observer there has had 64.5. We've had close to 50 inches of snow this winter at Big Rapids and Hastings, and a little bit less than Lansing. It's kind of curious. There's less snow in Ionia than there has been west, which is pretty typical, obviously. Toward the lake, you get more snow, but also to the east as well. Lansing has had more snow than Ionia, and I think that's right. We've had a couple of systems that have clipped Lansing with some snow, but haven't gotten back as far west as Ionia. But that's a look at your season snowfalls here. Warm day coming up today. Temperatures could be 20 degrees warmer than average here, up into the mid to even upper 60s this afternoon. Could even touch 70 now toward the Indiana border today. Much colder weather to follow here for the day tomorrow. We'll see our temperatures back into the 30s. It'll be like Sunday. Maybe a little bit of snow sticking to the grassy areas there for a while, especially if you're north of Grand Rapids. We'll have rain and a possible thunderstorm here for Wednesday night into early on Thursday. And then some snow on Thursday. Not a lot, but not impossible. There could be a couple of inches on the grassy areas up toward Mason and Oceana counties once again. And, of course, that will all melt. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook area for this is for Wednesday and Wednesday night. We do expect some pretty heavy thunderstorms to develop in the warmer air down across parts of Illinois, and then those will move east into Indiana. The yellow there is level 2. That is a slight risk. The level 1 in dark green is a marginal risk, and that comes up to I-96. So if you are in Grand Rapids, Holland, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor, keep an eye out for the fact that we could get a thunderstorm with some gusty winds here towards evening. But nothing like what they had across the south here last weekend. I'm going to take time out to thank our sponsors. Michelle?
Yes, and now that spring has sprung, it's definitely time to get on the right track and treat yourself. Maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe you just want to pamper yourself. But spring is the perfect time, and Complete Care Concierge has you covered. They offer cleaning services for whatever you need, and they serve all of West Michigan. So if you need cleaning for your home or apartment or condo, they've got you. If you have an office space that you need to keep clean, they can take care of that. They can do special projects. If you're moving somewhere, they can help with that. They can do a one-time thing. They can do on a repeated basis. So Complete Care Concierge has you covered. They're fast, they're efficient, they're affordable. They'll even schedule cleaning on the weekends. So they're there when you need them. And we're so thankful that they're a sponsor of Bill Steffen Weather. And you can reach them at 616-264-1397.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And thank you to Ace for coming on board here with us here and helping us pay a few bills. And speaking of some interesting weather, take a look at this. Blizzard warnings in effect out through the Plain States for parts of Kansas, Nebraska. One county in South Dakota is under a blizzard warning, and then northwest Iowa and and up into Minnesota. We're almost at the start of the baseball season, and we're talking blizzards. That's pretty interesting. This storm will continue moving off toward the northeast. And if we take a look at kind of a wide shot of the storm that's going to be coming up here. The snowstorm starts out in the west, and as you can see, there's still snow falling out in the west. I did check with Mount Baker in the state of Washington. Mount Baker has the world record for the most snow ever in a winter season, and that was 1,122 inches back in the winter of 1998 to 99. I checked with them, and they are currently up to, where did I put the number here? 493 inches of snow so far this winter, and they will top last year's total, I'm sure, which was in the 500s. 508 was their figure from last year. Here's who's getting the snow now. Remember, the bright yellow is 6 inches. The first level orange is 8 inches, and there's a second level orange, which is a little dot up there west of Marquette. That's where they expect 12 inches of new snow. There's going to be 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this that'll blow the snow into drifts. And anybody traveling to the west, if you're going I-94, I-90, Interstate 80 through Iowa into Nebraska, you're going to run into some really nasty weather out there. I know we've got some truck drivers that listen to the presentation here, so keep an eye if you're headed in that direction. It could be slow going, and you might want to think about dropping south. I've steered truck drivers farther south in situations like this before, where they'll move down to Interstate 40 or something like that, or 30, and then scoot around the snow there a little bit. Let's take one more look at the, this is a winter storm warning for the UP. You can see the counties there. That includes Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Iron Mountain, and Marquette, Michigan. Not quite over to the Houghton area, but there won't be quite as much snow right at the immediate Lake Superior shoreline. That purple color out over the lake is a gale warning, which will be in effect with this system. And over the open waters of Lake Michigan, we could see some gusts of 40 to 45 miles an hour. There's a look at the heavy snow that's expected up in the UP, and there's that little graphic showing that there'll be less snow right at the immediate lakeshore. You get that lift from the hills there, and that increases the snow totals often when you get a wind that's out of the north and northeast like it's going to be here. But nasty day coming up here late Wednesday into Thursday up there in the UP. For us, could be a shower mainly late in the day. I think a good portion of the day it will not be raining here in West Michigan. It'll be a touch on the breezy side during the afternoon with winds increasing to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures reach the mid to upper 60s, and with a strong south wind, much of the lakeshore area will be just as warm as inland areas. When you get a due south wind, the wind still comes over some water from Grand Haven off to the north. So if you're right along the lakeshore in Muskegon or Oceana County, you may see temperatures hold only in the 50s there. Rain for Wednesday night, and then temperatures really start to crash across the area. So let's take a look at what's ahead here for us temperature-wise. Today, mid-60s here this afternoon. Again, about 20 degrees warmer than average. You can see it's only mid-40s out over Lake Michigan. Much cooler there with that cold water. There's still some ice around Muskegon today, I was told. Now, take a look at all the blue that develops on this map for Thursday. And that cold air comes in. It'll be like Sunday. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s, wind chills will be in the low to mid-20s. So again, not the best of days to be outdoors. We may start out with a little rain in the morning, and that will likely shift to snow very early in the day. And again, that area north of Muskegon especially could pick up some snow on the grassy areas here. Friday, we start to warm up again. Look at all the green that comes back as temperatures head back up into the low to mid-50s and then back into the 40s here during the day on Saturday. So we've got one day in the 60s, one day in the 30s, one day in the 50s, and then a day in the 40s. Welcome to spring in West Michigan. You can see the lightning bolt there between Wednesday and Thursday, and that's Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, chance of a shower or storm. Best bet for a storm would be down toward the Indiana border. A little light snow here on Thursday. Most of Friday is dry with a little bit of sun. There could be a sprinkle of rain here Friday night. And can't rule out a sprinkle of rain on Saturday, but most of the day should be dry, and then a shower could sneak in late Sunday. So it's not really warm spring yet, but we'll get a taste of that tomorrow with temperatures up into the mid-60s. Long-range outlook says temperatures will be a little bit cooler than average here as we close out March and start the month of April. The warm air builds back into the plain states and out in the western United States. They'll get a break from all the snow they've been getting in the mountains there. In terms of rainfall across the area here, it looks like, again, a little bit above average here. So a little bit on the cool side, and again, a little bit on the wet side as we end the month here. So here's the way it looks for the start of spring. And Michelle, you want to join me, and we'll take a look at that. First of all, what's the picture?
And it's spring. I took this picture last year this time in Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh, okay.
So I picked it for this because, flowers in spring.
Do they have Frankfurters in Frankfurt, Germany?
Probably.
Could be. I don't
My
know.
first time ever on a plane was flying from Detroit to Frankfurt
Oh, no kidding. Really?
for one of the choir trips. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went back.
How many times would you
on my
estimate
plane.
you've been on a plane now?
Oh, I don't know.
100?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
cool.
But anyways, got this lovely picture walking around Frankfurt, and it's spring. It's the vernal equinox, which is when the sun crosses the celestial equator, and we have equal day and night hours. This is not. It's not March 19 everywhere. It depends on time zones.
Yes. Very often you'll get a calendar from Europe and it'll give one date for, let's say, the start of spring or summer, and you get a different date in the United States. And that's because spring starts at the exact same moment over the entire Earth. And we've got 24 different time zones, so it may be a different day. So it's kind
But
of
it's so exciting. All the counting down is over. We've made it to spring.
We have, and it's been a pretty typical winter here. I think people that are interested in skiing or ice fishing have had a good long run where they've been able to enjoy their sport.
All right, so tomorrow is the Grand Rapids Spelling Bee. Dad, were you ever in a spelling bee?
No, I was not. I was never in the. I think I did geography, but spelling would be interesting. There were some really great spellers in our school.
Well, I thought it
What
would
is it?
be
Is
fun.
it fifth grade? Is that about what that does spelling bee?
It was 5th to 8th at our
Fifth
school.
to eighth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's middle school. Yeah, one of the big days of the year. So good luck to everyone participating. It
Mhm.
is at the Kent ISD Conference Center tomorrow afternoon. But
Which
I
is
thought
on-
it would be fun if we had a little meteorologist spelling bee right now. So what do you think?
Uh-oh.
All right, so let's see how you do. Your first word is meteorologist.
Meteorologist. That's an easy one for me.
Very good. Okay, second round. Your word is anemometer. An anemometer is an instrument that measures wind. Anemometer.
Anemometer. And there is an E in it.
Anemometer. Very good. All right. The final round, forecast.
Forecast, like
Forecast,
Forecast. There is an E in forecast.
Very good, with an E.
Right.
Yay, you win.
When I'm on the golf course and I'm hitting into the, I'm hitting an errant shot that's going toward people, I don't yell "for," I go "forecast."
Oh,
I know.
okay, you won the spelling bee. Okay, so in sports, Grand Valley women's basketball won the NCAA Midwest regional title, and they are seeded first for the Elite Eight, which continues on March 24 in Pittsburgh versus Gannon. They defeated Ashland to win the regional title.
The
congratulations
Grand Valley
to the
women.
women.
I have seen a couple times Grand Valley women's basketball, and they are great. It's very entertaining.
And they've been for a lot of years.
Did you ever go with me to a game?
I went with you when we went with Terry DeBoer to see Jen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then there was all the games in college. Okay, so MHSAA girls basketball playoffs quarterfinals were the 18th, and Rockford defeated Grand Haven, and West Catholic defeated South Christian. Yeah, very close games.
A couple of close games there.
So those two teams are on their way to the Breslin Center, where there will be semifinals and finals the 20th through the 22nd. And then one note on that, Anna Wypitch was named Miss Basketball. She's a Rockford student.
Yes.
So she was given that honor by the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, and she is committed to attending Butler in the fall. So congratulations to her.
Butler is in Indiana, I believe, in Indianapolis.
I had a roommate from there one of my summers in Washington, D.C. Fun fact, couldn't tell you her name.
It'd be fun if they offered a degree in butlering, wouldn't it?
It would be some kind of hospitality degree.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's probably a great degree to have, actually. Okay, and other quarterfinal teams, Niles Brandywine advances over Calvin Christian, and Concord advanced over Byron Center Zion Christian. So those were other teams that were still in it.
Yes. Niles is, of course, down toward the Indiana border. But we get some people that watch us down there, down that far south. That's an area that might be better, like to get a thunderstorm tomorrow. So what goes better with thunderstorm than basketball, indoors, by the way?
Okay, and 5 years ago today, Michigan schools were closed. Gatherings of 50 or more people were banned. Eating in a restaurant was banned. Gyms were closed. Movie theaters was banned. It was the height of COVID restrictions 5 years ago today.
Yeah,
So
and then we were dealing with something that we really didn't know
Mm-hmm.
much about what it was. So we, had to kind of act there. And there's a few things that we would do differently if we had to do it over again. But it was a very interesting time. I mean, within a matter of a day, it was 2 days. It took us 2 days to set up the man cave down here where I could broadcast from the basement. And it was amazing. I hats off to all the engineers that worked that out. Pretty interesting.
Yep. So regardless of what you think of it, it's important to remember history. That was certainly an event and a timeline that impacted all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly was. I don't think I went out of the house for about a month. It was March and it was all muddy outside. Not much you could do. Okay,
so somehow my brain got on this trail. So here's your quiz question for the day. Events in history. Yeah, that's what we're thinking about. March 19, 1979, the U.S. House of Representatives began broadcasting its session live on what channel network?
So I believe that was C-SPAN, right? C-SPAN?
C-SPAN, which sometimes is entertaining when there's filibusters and whatnot.
And how many C-SPAN channels are there now? Are there three?
Three, I think.
Yeah. On rare occasion, I watch C-SPAN. When I want to see what's going on without getting a lot of commentary mixed in, I can actually see what's going on. And
so the House of Representatives was first. They were ahead of the Senate in broadcasting on C-SPAN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we talked about the counties yesterday and the cabinet counties. So that got me wondering about Kent County. So who is Kent County named after? This one is multiple choice.
Well, I tell you what, this one's kind of easy. It's James.
All my choices are on point. It could be any of them, really.
Well, it could. That's true. There could have been a different Clark Kent somewhere, but that's congratulations for coming up with that answer, though. A lot of people your age don't know who Clark Kent was.
Oh no!
He was this guy who hung out in phone booths when I was a kid.
Before the X-Files in the 90s, we'd go to church and then get Subway sandwiches and then watch The New Adventures of Lois and Clark, and then everyone else would watch the X-Files, but I didn't watch it. It was too scary.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was Clark Kent was Superman.
James Kent was a legislator and legal scholar from New York and represented Michigan in the Toledo Strip dispute. So he was our advocate, and he got a county named after him.
Yes, isn't that amazing? Yes, and Ohio got Toledo in that compromise. And the Packers got a lot of Michiganders up in the UP that root for the Packers instead of the Lions.
Toledo, is that where Cedar Point is?
Yeah, it's just east of there, Sandusky.
Is Sandusky in the Toledo Strip? Like, is that what we lost out on being ours?
That could be. That could be. I don't know exactly, but that should be right there.
If you're watching at home, one of the perks of being in our family was growing up was the Cedar Point tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were able to go because of advertising deals that they we did a trade out. Now I worked for 10 different owners, and each owner had different arrangements, but some of the owners that we had do trade outs for such things as furniture in the studio and that kind of thing, and they'll put a commercial on the air and get something in return. And some owners don't do that at all. They don't do anything. So what you're saying is, if there's any furniture companies watching us that want to sponsor the Man Cave, they can just let us know and we can work that out.
Sure.
But anyways, they did advertising deals with the theme parks. So what we did for fun in the summers was we got to go to a theme park, and there were usually enough tickets that we got to bring a friend or two, and it was a great time.
Yes, and I did not like the really, really, really fast roller coasters. I like the water rides, the log run, and the flume or whatever it is that they had there, and the what was it called at Michigan's Adventure, the water ride where you got in the thing that looked like a log, the log run, was that
Other
it?
than the log run, I don't know. You lost your watch on the avalanche run at Cedar Point one year.
I did. I lost my watch, and they actually stopped and had somebody run along the route to look for it, and we couldn't find it. They even looked on the ground. They were very good about that. They only stopped it for like 60 seconds, but
That ride had an interesting history. It became disaster transport.
mhm.
It was kind of one of the only ones of its kind.
Interesting.
A free luge run. Yeah. And then the years that I was like marginal for being enough height, you guys would have me wear my soccer cleats, which in retrospect should not have done that. Not safe. There are height rules for a reason, and that
I
is
do not
not.
remember that, but
Yes. I think that happened 2 different years to make sure that I was tall enough for the Gemini, and that is not safe. Like now that like I work in an industry where safety is really important, those rides are made for certain heights. So don't do that to your kids. Bad plan.
I used to like the mine ride because the first hill was only 6 feet. That's how far you went down. You went up this hill a little bit, and then you went down 6 feet. And that's about what I can take.
Okay, so we'll do a whole show on our top Cedar Point rides.
Okay.
Okay, other events in Grand Rapids history. In what year did Fifth Third Bank Corp acquire Old Kent Financial Corporation? So when did Old Kent Bank become Fifth Third Bank in West Michigan?
I would guess late 1990s. Does that sound about right?
Very close.
Oh, 2001. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, we all remember that happening.
All the banks were different when I first got to Grand Rapids. We had Union Bank, we had NBD, which was National Bank of Detroit. We had
When it came to my college, it was the National Bank of Dad.
yeah, pretty much. We had we had our mortgage with Grand Rapids Federal Savings. Who am I missing? There were a number of others too, but it's interesting how all those businesses change with time.
Yeah. March 19, National Poultry Day. So take yourself to Chick-fil-A and have some of God's chicken. Or Culver's. We love, I won't.
Hey, I went by Culver's today, and it was packed. I mean, there were a lot of people that it was really humming there, and they've been running a lot of spots of late on TV. Culver's has, and they have good food. Plus, they have walleye in the Lenten season here that you can get.
And every time I call it ice cream, Dan corrects me.
And I have been to the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, north of Madison. And it was very nice, and the food's always been good at Culver's. We like Culver's.
We have one down here, and it's next to a Kilwins. So when we're feeling nostalgic, we go and have our little Midwest date night, and we go to Culver's and Kilwins.
There's an old Johnny Tillison song that went "Poultry in Motion." That's an old joke. Sorry.
Okay.
My kitties,
my
little kitties. Oh, I miss you guys. Sir Yum is up front and Nimbus in the back, and both of those cats passed away at around the age of 14. They were strays that we got from the Humane Society, and they turned out to be absolutely wonderful cats.
And our merch store is up and running. I will put this in the comments. We need a little bit more growth on YouTube, and then we'll be able to link this store directly. But for now, if you'd like a sneak peek, this is the link where you can shop for the Bill Steffen merchandise. And thank you for your support. And these are a couple of our designs, partly stashy. I'm proud of that. I came up with it myself.
Yes.
But yeah,
this
that's
is
all.
largely her idea and come to fruition here, but we'll see if we can sell a couple of these.
Well, somebody asked. It was inspired. So if you do purchase
that is
something,
my signature down there.
That does help us defray our expenses. Yes, when I flew up to Michigan to get your camera working, we also got his signature because I thought that some of the pieces needed the signature. So
yeah.
So if you do support, that helps us defray our production expenses, which we do have some for the software and a couple of other things. So thank you so much for your support.
Yes, and that about wraps it up for us here. Interesting day coming up. Gets pretty windy here Wednesday night. Watch out for a stray shower or thunderstorm late in the day. And beware of the fact that it'll be much colder here during the day on Thursday. We ride the roller coaster up and down temperature-wise here during the month of March. Once again, have a great day, and thanks for checking in with us.